So this is the last unit of Biology 12, Unit P, Human Reproduction, and this is Part 1, the male reproductive system. So let's begin. So the key ideas in this unit, very straightforward, and I encourage you to maximize your knowledge in this area because it is so straightforward. The pathway of sperm, so this is just a list of structures at the path that the sperm follow on their exit out of the male. The function of the seminal fluid in helping the sperm to survive, and then the function of testosterone in maintaining and developing the primary and the secondary male sex characteristics, and then the hormonal control of all these things, the two hormones out of the anterior pituitary, LH and FSH. So the pathway of sperm, first of all, if we look at the testes, we need to understand that the sperm are made within these seminiferous tubules, and if we see a picture, a diagram of the sperm, or sorry, of the testes, we're going to see these little actual tubules that are all folded up, and this is going to indicate to us that these are tubules, as the name, and these are where the sperm are manufactured. So sperm are made here, and as they are made, they migrate and move into the epididymis, and the epididymis is sitting out here on top of the testes. So it looks like it's in the testes, but it's actually sitting on top of it. So to follow the path of the sperm, we would go testes, number 1, and specifically we would need to know seminiferous tubules into the epididymis for sperm maturation, and then ascending, so they move into the body, into the abdominal cavity through this long tube, the vas deferens. This is the tube that is cut in a vasectomy, and continue on. They're going to pass by the 3 accessory glands, seminal vesicles, prostate gland, and then Cowper's, and then finally they are going to exit out of the urethra. So the sperm is designed, it is a cell, but it's designed for swimming, and so the head is what contains the 23 chromosomes contained in the nucleus. At the very end of the head is the acrosome containing enzymes that allows the sperm to break through the protective coating of the egg. The midpiece, mitochondria, which produce ATP to allow the tail to move. So 3 parts to the sperm: the head, the midpiece, and the tail, and we should know the function of each. The function of the seminal fluid, and in case you didn't know, again, the 3 accessory sets of accessory gland seminal vesicles, there's 2 of them. The prostate gland, 1 of that, so that's the second one, but there's only 1, so don't get these numbers confused. And then at the very base, 2 Cowper's gland. So 2 seminal vesicles, 1 prostate gland, and 2 Cowper's gland. And in order, we say S, P, C. They function to provide a basic environment for the sperm, and this is with the chemical sodium bicarbonate. This is to counteract the acidity of the female. Prostaglandins are going to cause uterine contractions, and fructose is an energy source, so the midpiece mitochondria can produce ATP to move the tail. Testosterone is a steroid hormone. We need to go back to Unit A and Unit C and recall that a steroid is a lipid. All lipids are made within the SER, the smooth ER of the cells, and this is a feedback loop under control of the hypothalamus, the part of the brain that releases GnRH, which is going to cause the anterior pituitary to release LH LH then is going to travel in the bloodstream, targeting the testes and causing the testes to release testosterone. Testosterone then would feed back to the brain and cause the brain to shut off GnRH production. So we call this a negative feedback loop. Secondary sex characteristics are the characteristics that differentiate men from women on a macro level. So when we're walking down the street, right, we can see you are a woman, you are a man, and these are the characteristics associated with increased testosterone production during puberty. So increased muscle mass, increased body hair, pubic, underarm, facial, right? Deepening of the voice, because our vocal cords actually thicken, and this makes the voice deeper. Change in oil and sweat production. Our sweat glands, our oil glands change the type of secretion they're making, and this causes all kinds of problems, acne, right, amongst them, body odor, all these things that we have to learn how to contend with. So just a nice graphic, which isn't really very nice, right, on the hairiness factor depending on your genetic predisposition to make hair is hopefully not looking quite like this. Okay, and the last part of this is to understand that LH is the hormone coming out of the ant pit that targets the interstitial cells. These are the cells that make testosterone, and FSH is the hormone that targets the seminiferous tubules, and this is the area within the testes that makes sperm. So we want to be sure about these two: LH, interstitial cells, testosterone; FSH, seminiferous tubules making sperm. Both of these are going to be negative feedback loops. So again, hypothalamus releases GnRH. GnRH targets the anterior pituitary gland. The anterior pituitary gland releases FSH and LH. Both of these would travel in the bloodstream. All hormones travel in the bloodstream. FSH targeting seminiferous tubules, causing them to make sperm. The LH hormone, LH, targeting, here they call it Leydig cells, we call it interstitial cells, to make testosterone. Negative feedback, inhibiting the production of more. Hope that helped.